Okay, thanks, Bernie. So my name is Norman Su. I'm an assistant professor here in human-computer interaction. The work I'm going to describe today has been done with a whole host of collaborators that you see up here. So I think we can all acknowledge that technology is pervasive. It's everywhere in every part of our lives today. And my concern is really about examining how do people perceive the basic morality behind technology. And I'm sure many of you have often thought about what is technology doing or affecting my life? What is the right way to use technology or the wrong way? And does technology really affect the authenticity of our experiences? So is using smartphones, is it somehow moving us away from an authentic life or the life that we want to live? So the way I've kind of investigated this is I'm a sociologist and a computer scientist, and I want to investigate how people think about these things and what are the design opportunities in these spaces. So this first study that we're doing right now is examining what is really the right role of touchscreen devices for my children. So I was at the airport the other day, and a father went up to me and asked me, how do I set up the wireless on my touchscreen? And then while we're discussing it, his daughter, maybe about this tall, went up and said, no, Dad, this is the way you do it. And she's swiping the screen and doing all these complex gestures. So kids are increasingly getting very adept at technology, and this brings up a lot of issues. Some parents think it's the right way to teach my child. They should have an upper leg on technology. Others think that's moving their child away from social interactions and with the nature around them. Another study we've been doing, that study we're talking to parents. This one we're examining a study that I did actually in Ireland, examining the role of smartphones in public spaces. So in pubs or restaurants, how are smartphones changing the nature of conversation? So especially among young people, they think that phones actually enrich conversation. It adds new facts, it suggests new topics to talk about. But for the older adults, especially in many of these pub settings, they think that phones are moving us away from authentic conversations. It's making us conversations less spontaneous. It's making facts and debates settled much quicker. So the question is, how can we make younger and older generations maybe understand each other's use of smartphones? So lastly, I'm very interested in how does technology affect the authenticity of our experiences. In concerts, you see smartphones and tablets held up while watching the concerts. If you've ever been to any landmark, there's cameras everywhere and people holding smartphones. Is this ruining the experience? We should just experience it viscerally with our senses, or is it okay to try to capture something to remember later? Technologies like Amazon Echo are infiltrating our spaces, domestic spaces like kitchens and bedrooms here. So I've also been doing studies that try to develop technologies that support authentic experiences. I'll just give a very quick overview of this study we did investigating traditional Irish musicians, right? So that's a community that traditionally does not want to use any technology, learn music by heart, and really learn it through oral communication here. So here we developed a technology to help novices join these communities of musicians. We developed a system called Tune Tracker that we actually deployed in a pub in Dublin, Ireland. And it's basically a system that sits above the musician playing area and has a microphone out there. And it's a system that's like a Shazam for Irish music. So it captures, stores, analyzes, and posts online the tune names. And you can go, it recognizes the difference between music playing and chatter, and it posts the names of the tunes on a public website here. So novices can look at this and say, this is the repertoire of tunes playing here. If I practice this, I can join in. If I'm not from Dublin, I can, as a foreigner, visit this area and join in. So this system actually brought a lot of controversies about the role of technology in sessions, but I won't have time to talk about that. So just very quickly, the last study we're doing now is looking at hunters and the role of technology in their spaces. So a particular issue there is the role of cameras there. Hunters are deploying cameras now in their land, and now they're fixated on certain animals, and they want to hunt those animals, whereas previously hunting was much more of a spontaneous experience. So we're examining the debates around those as well. So thank you. Appreciate your time.